In Glasgow city centre, busking is a time-honored art form that adds color and vibrancy to the public spaces. Busking is a wonderful part of Glasgow's legendary music scene, adding character and culture to what would otherwise be a square mile of only excessive consumerism. It forms an integral part of the city centre's vibe and demeanor. Yet, busking has always been and may always be steeped in controversy. Compared to London, Edinburgh, and other cities, Glasgow is a good city for busking and buskers. The streets resemble a walk-through jukebox, taking you to the traditions of Celtic music, along to jazz, rock, and roll, and everything in between.
I think Glasgow could be called the busking capital of the world because there's so many street musicians here and street performers. The council allow it, there's no license required, and it's actually promoted in this city. The slogan of the city is "People make Glasgow."
However, the upkeep of peace and harmony between street performers relies on an adherence to what was once a set of unwritten rules. When a busker sets out to perform on a street, they join an existing community, which also includes street traders, shops, residents, other members of the public, and other buskers. With so much activity taking place within an already busy city center, issues can arise.
Some of the really touristy towns that are really busy, like buskers, but then some of the shopkeepers and the townspeople don't like the buskers so much. So there's a bit of conflict between, a lovely like countryside sort of quaint town.
But the bagpipes are very loud, and Buchanan Street here, the Style Mile, as they like to call themselves, I think they find busking a little bit not as classy as they'd like this street to be a little bit. Some of the shops give you that impression. So that's how I generally do it a little bit later here when the shops are closed,
To promote good relations and a vibrant street culture, Glasgow City Council created Buskers Code for street performers.
Presently, the busking situation, they're very good buskers in Glasgow, but there is some conflict between the buskers. I think there's 50 or 60 metres between each busking act that's on at a particular time. That some people encroach in their space, which causes problems. We also have problems with the shops. We deal with the shops with the radio. We'll get frequent phone calls from the shops saying that buskers are too loud. Could you ask them to move on?
The guidelines also state that the sale of merchandise is not allowed. It means you can give away CDs or other items, but you cannot charge a fee for them. To sell items for a fee, you need a street trading license. Wandering Sounds is a Glasgow-based duo. They used to sell their album while busking, which Glasgow's community officers would turn a blind eye to, exemplifying the council's desire to keep busking alive in the city. Wandering Sounds' album can be bought for only a donation when they are busking, and it is also available to be downloaded from the Facebook page for free, or it can be purchased online. If buskers do not adhere to the codes established by Glasgow City Council, they may be asked by police to stop performing. If they don't, they could be charged and risk any equipment being seized. Pete used to busk in London. Now he's a student of University of Glasgow. Sometimes he will busking on the street with his new busker friends on weekends.
Illegal for people to busk on the underground. You have to get a license to busk. And if you're a busker in London and you get stopped twice in the same borough, and then they take your stuff away.
With or without the codes of practice set out by the council, busking is still not easy. Different buskers have different reasons for busking. Some buskers perform purely because they enjoy singing or playing, and this gives them the opportunity to get a bit of pocket money. But for many, busking is a crucial means of making a living or gaining exposure.
It's an important part of the city, and like there's obviously, as I said to you before, there's different levels of busking. Like you've got the people at the very bottom, which you should meet and talk to, doing it for their food from day to day.
Ryan is from Ireland. He used to be homeless. He believes people with difficulties should choose busking rather than begging on the street. What's valuable about the busker is that they put a lot of effort into their acts, give a performance, and entertain the public.
I used to sleep in the park. I've been there, it's happened to me, and through the music it kind of pulled me out, it was a gateway to kind of going somewhere. There's nobody judging you.
But busking for Ryan is not always so easy. Sometimes he will meet a really bad day.
Just because you're Irish, that's the positive is, I suppose, is the people do let you. The negative is that other people get very jealous and very dominant, not even over their own patch, but over other buskers. That's a pretty scary situation. Jealousy, it's a very contagious thing. But I don't see the jealous point of it. If you're good enough, to be out there singing, and you should be good enough to sing and not be jealous about somebody else. And I didn't like that. Especially when I had nothing and I really and truly needed an income. Fair enough, I had great clothes and I had a great guitar, but I had no money and I had no place to live. I was going back collecting a sleeping bag and sleeping in a park that night, surrounded by clouds and rain. And here's me trying to make real money on the street for a real cause, for myself. And that's the kind of intimidation you get.
Bella is one of the female buskers on the street. She became exhausted after she played for 3 hours.
It's just really hard. You need really good energy. You need, to feel clear and ready to go. And sometimes you don't have that energy, but you kind of have to do it anyway. Sometimes you can play really, really well. Like today, I feel like I played quite well, but I didn't make any money. And other times, I can be really struggling and then I'll make lots of money. So it's kind of, I think there's something to do with the general atmosphere on the day, what kind of mood people are in generally, as opposed to actually how good the performance is, strangely.
And they're like the normal street people, the real street people, like the people who are the street.
And have you seen the yoga walking the streets of London?
Gary has been playing guitar for 50 years. On Christmas Eve, he usually plays music at the side of the street.
I come out to play on Christmas Eve. It's because it's a nice time of the year, and I like to play to the people. And the people, most of the people in Glasgow streets, with me playing here for so long, they expect me to be here. So I like to come out, and at the same time they appreciate me, and I enjoy. That's why I come out on Christmas Eve. But I have family. I do enjoy myself, and but it's also nice to come out and play to the streets because there's so many happy people, and children and families and young couples, and this is one of the reasons why I always try to come out at Christmas and New Year.
And then after that you've got the people who are good professional musicians who are out doing it to earn just a bit of extra pocket money, a few quid, because you can earn just as much busking as what you can going out gigging. It takes half the time to do.
Mike and Mike, a friend. One is a professional musician and one is busking for making a living.
Yeah, my name's Matt Black. I don't busk. I play music for a profession. I really enjoy it, and I hope to do it for the rest of my life.
I started going out about a year ago, and I done it for the money.
I only play music that I don't like, because then if I play songs that I like, it ruins it for me. So I just play complete shit.
I get my beer money from it and my tobacco money.
A lot of the best musicians get discovered on the streets busking. So it's a good way to do that, to get heard if you want to become a famous person, perhaps. professional. But it's good, you make good money. Life is a dream. I'm living the dream, me and Mick.
People tackle the situation, repeat rotation, dropping collision on the wall. My love, she does not balance.
And then you get the people at the very top. There's a place in Covent Garden, and you've got the classical music. And these are people that are like trained for all their life to play their instrument, and they've come to Covent Garden to busk.
Clandonia, the famous treble drums and pipe band from Glasgow, they are considered as the authentic treble sound of Scotland.
We're well known in Glasgow for playing on the street, and that's the way we do it. We're a people's band, and we love performing to the people from all walks of life and from all over the world. We mostly work at night time performances and in venues, so if the weather's okay, we'll come into the city of Glasgow to perform for everyone. It's free shows. You'll see that we played the biggest festival in Scotland, Tea in the Park. We opened up the main stage, and we were on the same stage as Beyonce, Coldplay, then the Glasgow Commonwealth Games 2014. We were the band that played at the opening. So you'll find us either in a stadium or you'll find us playing in the street. Young ones have been encouraged from little, and I've seen them through the years. They either play the drums or the pipes, and they'll come up to me and they're now like 15, 16, 17, and they're still playing those instruments. So something good comes out of it also. And we play many weddings, and they love it, you know. And especially if they have people coming from anywhere in the world. They always love us to be there because they want the Scottish feel, the theme, and we're the ones that are mostly picked to do it.
People hear us down the street, they'll instinctively just walk up and come and have a wee boogie, and everyone seems quite happy about it, I guess. Everyone enjoys it. What would you say?
Yeah, I'd say it's very, very tribal. It gets people in here.
Yeah.
The noise of the drums and the pipes really affects people in the heart.
Busking is across the board. It's culture, it's music culture, because it relies a lot on its arts.
Glasgow is synonymous with a host of pubs, clubs, people and events that entice locals out of every corner and onto the streets to dance, drink and indulge in a city where the creativity of its people is its lifeblood. One of Glasgow's subtlest, yet most warming and enduring qualities is its dips and breaths of buskers and street artists who transform the city's public spaces into free festival for all to enjoy. Buskers will always get good days as well as really bad days. Sometimes they can come out and make next to nothing. Other times they get what they need and more. From singer-songwriters, young and old, to full-blown bands, to drummers, bongo players, harpists, and pipers. From the very bottom to the very top, they all have their stories. People do indeed make Glasgow, but without buskers and street artists alike, this place would make little sense.
Children always looking at dogs are quite like looking at. It tends to be, I don't know, you do, the slightly crazy people do tend to come and talk to you. And old people as well. I made a great friend busking in my hometown, an 85-year-old man whose wife was in a coma, and he had all these great stories to tell, and he took me for lunch a couple of times, and sort of developed a friendship, which I never would have had if it wasn't from Buskers.
You know I'm heading for the rocks and only I can change it. You know I gotta find my way, 'cause I know I can make it.
There's the wheels, see, there's the lassie, and that wheels waiting patiently for me. She's a picture of perfection, and she would me tell me, if you see her, you would love her, just the same as me. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Hello, God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's local Glasgow.